Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2D Radio. We are live from the Real Talk Studios like we are every Wednesday night. And every Wednesday night we are brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Gibson Mayer LLC. Find him on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Moagovic, Robbie Povin, the ones and twos. The family out there joining us. After the show, if you're a podcast junkie, you can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, SoundCloud. We're everywhere. All right, there's a lot of junkies out there. You like listening to them in the car, whatever the case may be. We got a ton to talk about tonight. And if you're a gambling junkie, do us a favor. Use promo code A2D. Go to ATSSportPicks.com. ATSSportPicks.com. Use promo code A2D. Get 20% off. Let's go. Make some money. They're on fire over there. They're absolutely on fire.
They're killing their hocky.
Like, I just can't.
Especially the hockey. They're killing it.
Unbelievable.
And everything else is on fire, too.
And she told me before, this is their go-to. They're gonna make a ton.
On hockey?
On hockey and all of it.
Nice.
Yeah, the winter sports, they clean up. But we got a ton to talk about. We'll give Flyers live reactions throughout the game tonight. Obviously 3-0 right now. About 15 minutes to go in the third. Lock of the week, one fantasy player per guy. Sometimes we give you two because we're a generous group here. We really are. We're givers.
I will apologize for mine last week. Everything lined up perfectly, except for Tyler Eifert.
Well, he is a bungle.
I don't even know who the hell
And they're
I
back
took.
to being the bungles.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the hell I took last week. So, you know what I mean? I couldn't even tell you.
I'm with you. Oh, I forget.
John Middleton is being thorough on his Gabe Kapler / Matt Klintak decision here.
Well, and we found out today that they are leaning towards bringing back McPhail and Klentak, although they have not made a decision on Kapler. I don't know how accurate that is.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing. How do you bring a guy back after a week or 2 weeks? How do you bring him back when throughout this process not one time have you mentioned this is my guy?
Yeah.
We're going to stick with him. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Whether you believe it or not.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it later on in the show. We'll give our Eagles-Vikings preview. We'll give you our picks, obviously like we do every week, and then you give us yours, offense, defensive player of the game. Win $50 from us to you. Simple Venmo, Facebook Pay, whatever pay apps you got, we got them too. Eagles trade rumors is the main topic tonight. And remember something right now, what the word rumor means. You all went to high school. You all went to goddamn high school. You all know what a rumor is. And you know sometimes
Look at all these rumors.
they're not
Surround
true.
me every day.
Voice of an angel.
I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. Can't
Go
take
get it.
no more.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
That was like way old school. Too.
Some people might not know, but some are going to know. And for
If
the
you
one-
You don't know, now you know.
And we'll leave the other part out. Great song. Great song. I don't even know what the hell I was saying.
Rumors.
Rumors.
Rumors. Yeah, it's rumors. So remember that. You
Don't
know,
start singing.
you all went to high school.
But look, when a
You all know
couple
what rumors are.
of juicy ones drop 24 hours before our show goes on the air, we can't not address them.
No, and why? And we know Howie Roseman, so we need to address him. He said before the season even started that, listen, you know, when somebody's available, we always make the call.
Sure.
If we go through it or not, we always check in.
Unlike
So-
the other team across the street who doesn't.
who doesn't check in, and they can take some notes. So our poll question, you can vote on it, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The Eagles will make a huge trade. Do you agree or disagree? And again, let us know.
That's this year
Everywhere.
before the deadline.
comments, questions, concerns about the game coming up against the Vikings, confidence in the game coming up against the Vikings. All that's on the table. We'll answer everything. We'll read off all your questions, comments, and like we said, whatever the hell else you got. So, boys, the Eagles will make a huge trade before the deadline, obviously, because, after the deadline, it doesn't matter. Agree, disagree.
I'll start. I'll go agree. When especially with Howie Roseman, where there's where there's smoke, there's usually fire. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be OBJ. I think that's more just to kick the tires, because I think that the Browns I don't think are going to give up right away on that setup. But whether it's a Chris Harris, whether it's back with Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Diggs, names like that, I'll go yes and agree.
All right. You agree?
I'm going to disagree. I do think that Howie is not necessarily done wheeling and dealing. I just don't see anything major going down for no other reason than I feel like there's a lot of teams out there that know the Eagles are in the market and the asking price is going to go up. But I could see situations like what we just saw yesterday with Tampa Bay releasing Deion Buchanan. Maybe other teams releasing guys like that, players that may not be, top line guys, but suddenly become available either because they're released because of the whole, the compensatory pick thing.
Right.
Where you have guys that if they're on a roster at week 8 or week 10, something like that, then the team that they left gets compensatory draft picks. Teams lose draft picks. I mean, like the Eagles, realistically, for as well as he's played, could wind up cutting Andrews and Dejo in the next couple of weeks, because if they keep him, they lose a draft pick. And so what becomes more valuable at that point? Is it, 6 weeks plus potentially the playoffs of Andrews and Dejo, or that draft pick? That's going on in every front office around the NFL.
Right. Yeah. As it should.
So, I mean, you could see a situation where guys get released and the Eagles pick someone up, or maybe they make, a smaller trade here and there. As much as I would love for them to make a blockbuster, and we've talked about some of the names on the show over the last couple of weeks. I mean, we were talking Von Miller, Chris Harris. I know Xavier Howard has been floated out there. Obviously, the Beckham rumors have started. The Stephon Diggs rumors have started. I would love to see them make a splash move. I just don't think Howie's going to pull the trigger.
Fair. So you got an agree and you got to disagree, and then you got the
two.
The deciding vote, I guess.
A to D.
Yeah. All right. Well done.
You got the schmoozad in the middle. Hey.
I'll say I agree, and the reason I'll go agree, because most years I probably wouldn't agree with this, but there's a good amount of terrible teams in this league.
Terrible.
that are in rebuild mode.
Terrible.
That you can see right now, right? Like how many? 4 at least.
Yeah. There's 4 still. Right? 4, 3 or 4 now no win teams.
Yeah, and you can add the Broncos in. It's the 5th or the 4th because they won one, but
right.
Or did they? Yeah,
they beat the Chargers.
Yeah, they beat the Chargers. So typical Chargers, but
early season.
So my point is that there's bad teams. So you can look at the Broncos, and maybe it's not Von Miller and Chris Harris, but there's a legit possibility that they lose again this Sunday, and then they decide, we're just going to go in a different direction. We're going to save cap space, and we're going to move on, and you steal a guy like that away. So I can see that one happening. OBJ, do I see it happening? No. Do I think there's always a chance that the Browns move them? Absolutely. Like, for people to tell me they're not in panic mode, when you're on Monday Night Football and you have zero offense, and you get your doors blown off, that becomes, when you go to 2 and 3, a little bit of panic. Over panic? I don't know. They're a bad organization, so it could be an over panic.
Right.
But do I think it happens? No, I don't. But do I also think if Deshaun, they feel like he doesn't come back, do they also make some calls for some wide receivers? Absolutely. Could you see a Chris Harris, Emmanuel Sanders? Yes, I could see a Chris Harris, Emmanuel Sanders deal. I'm trying to look at bad teams. What do the Bengals have to offer?
Devontae Parker.
The
AJ Green.
Yeah, the Bengals are dangling AJ because they know they're terrible. Now, are you healthy? Because I'll take you if you're healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Beckham thing, though, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors in Cleveland.
No.
I mean, Like you said, you come out on Monday Night Football, and the entire story going into that game was Freddie Kitchens wanted to make a concerted effort to get Odell Beckham Jr. more involved in the offense. They were running him at tailback out of two-back sets. I mean, he had carries. He threw a pass. He had targets out the wazoo, and they scored 3 points. And you don't know, I mean, and everybody knows how Odell is. You know, it's to the media, he doesn't cause waves, but behind closed doors, he's a bit of a diva. And who knows what was said on that flight back from
a lot could have been said.
Back from San Francisco.
Yeah. A lot could have been
or when
said.
they got back into Cleveland the next day.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say that's not on the table because I think anybody, when you're talking about bad teams or teams that aren't playing up to capabilities, guys get put out there and dangled, and they take their chances to see if somebody will bite on it. Like A.J. Green, a legit possibility when he's cleared to play. It makes sense? A legit possibility when he can clear a physical.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, that's another, to me, name that's going under the radar here. Now, do I expect A.J. Green to play at a high level for 3 years? No. But for a short amount of time, is he a fix if he's on the field? Yeah, we'll go.
If he's healthy,
we'll go there.
Yeah.
But then you go around Miami still has some players that they would probably be willing to part ways with.
Devontae Parker.
Okay, and you go to the other side.
And yeah, absolutely.
Now the Redskins, I highly doubt in division, but you never know.
Right.
You never know. Now, do they have anything? They have some defensive stuff. They have corners you can call about.
Yeah.
So, there's guys out there that might not be the huge name like Mike said, but there's guys out there. Do I think the huge thing's coming? I don't know. It's got a weird feeling. It's got a weird feeling. There's been so many. They've been tied to so many names. That tells me I have an aggressive GM right now.
Yeah.
Because even Howie says you can't come with. You're never going to come in with the perfect roster. There's always going to be holes.
Right.
And then you got to get creative with them holes sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think they realize that there's some holes and there's some injuries and that they can't necessarily trust Ronald Darby to come back and play good football.
Right.
Jalen Mills to come back and play good football. Deshaun Jackson even the comeback. So, they're in a position where they're in a win now mode because they brought a lot of veterans back.
Yeah.
And said to you, we're going to try to win because what other choices they had? They couldn't after 2017. I think they went a year too long with Darren Sproles and Jason Peters. That's all. But they're also in a win now mode.
Yeah.
So they're trying to go all in. So to me, if they're trying to go all in, but I agree with Mike to a point too.
Yeah.
It's something's going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
It just depends
It
what goes
it's
down.
your determination if it's a big impact or not.
Well, and you saw when we were going back and forth last night with the show criteria, that was the one question that we had was are they going all in? I mean, yeah, they kind of have to.
They don't have
They don't have a choice.
They don't. They tied their hands to that. Now, there's ways to be creative, and there's guys out there that won't kill you necessarily cap-wise. Like Chris Harris isn't going to kill you, for the caliber of player. He's not going to kill you. He addresses a big-time need that, let's be real. I mean, I'm not going to crush Howie totally, but he doesn't draft well.
Yeah.
So, he's always got his bread and butter off of free agency, and obviously landing Carson. That's his big thing. It was going up, making a trade, and getting your franchise quarterback, which means you're always going to be a Super Bowl contender as long as he's there.
Well, what did Joe Douglas always tell us that I'm sure was not lost on Howie? He said that if you go up and down every roster in the NFL, there's always 2 to 3 players that are available for the right price.
Yep.
It's just a matter of whether you're willing to pay that price. So, I mean, there's no way that hasn't rubbed off. It's just not possible.
No, you think he would learn stuff because he's a smart guy.
I'm sure Howie has a chart that's literally every team in the NFL and who's available and what they'd be willing to give up for him.
Yeah,
And it's just a matter of if Howie wants to pay that price.
Yeah.
Real quick, to get back to the Browns for a quick second, their last 2 primetime games were the Rams and the Niners, obviously Monday night. They scored 13 points and run a draw on 4th and 9 with the game on the line. And then the Browns or the Niners on Monday where they obviously scored 3 points. So, you might be right. Maybe there's a little internal panic because of the expectations that were that high.
Absolutely, Greg.
And then, who knows?
And they also have a million wide receivers.
Yeah, it's not like it's a position that would hurt them to make that deal. And they're in the business of stockpiling picks. They've been in that business for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, losing Odell is going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, but it also helps us, But like, is Odell the biggest need for this football team? No. I'd rather stay on the defense side of the football. I'd rather go solidify my secondary or my front four in a way.
Well, is
it a Von Miller?
Right,
I don't know, but he hasn't played well.
What's their biggest problem right now? They have no offensive line whatsoever. So if you can trade Odell and you get a starting caliber offensive lineman back in return.
Like you can get Vitae back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Vitae or,
and a pick.
And a pick.
A first and a Vitae.
Yeah.
Or
like
a second and a Vitae.
Yeah, you're not going to get back the same value you traded away.
No, absolutely not.
Like a Somali, you give up Odell, but you get, Somalo a second and a fourth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something like that,
Yep. The same similar thing you were trying to do. We were trying to do with the Jaguars in a way.
Right.
But no, I mean that's a perfect deal right there for them saying, okay, we got to protect our quarterback a little better. We're getting back an offensive lineman, and we're getting 2 picks. But then again, you can look across 5 or 6 teams in this league, and there's guys that are no question about it available if you just want to give up a little bit more than you might want to.
Yeah, then you might feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean the family's chiming in a lot, and we'll go over the poll at the end of the.
Tube chat is jumping.
Yeah, the Facebook's jumping too.
You can tell Brink didn't do a show this week though because there's like 17 comments.
He's got to get it out.
Yeah.
He's got to get it out.
17 comments from Brinkman in the tube chat.
Oh, our guy Dion in the house.
Dion.
He said, I only go off of the elite insiders that put out this type of info. We know who they are. Howie's always working the phones. That's his job. I can't see the Eagles trading for OBJ or Von Miller two elite players in this league. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that they would, Dion. But again, when you're in a win-now mode, everything's on the table.
And they are, because in preseason and training camp, you kept hearing Connor Barwin.
Mm-hmm.
You kept hearing Chris Long again.
Right.
Like, you're not bringing those guys back if you're not in a win-now mode, because they only have 1 or 2 games in total left in their career.
Right.
The only thing that would worry me about Von Miller, and it's a very, very small worry because I think the guy can adapt, is he's generally a stand-up guy right now. You know what I mean? So coming here to put his hand back in the dirt might take a little bit of transition. It would never stop me, though, from getting a guy like that, though.
No, I hear you. And you're absolutely right. So Brinkman said, I'm all for, or he said, everyone is quick to jump on trade rumors. The fan base forgets this team has a lot of good players, franchise quarterback, and a great coach. I'm all for adding talent. Just saying. Gina, Bleeding Green 72 is Gina. She has revealed. She says, hey, guys.
What's up, Gene?
What's up, fam?
What up, Gina?
She says, Tom, your mic sounds funky.
My mic?
Yeah, I don't think so.
What's it, too loud?
DeAndre Richardson, yo.
What up, DeAndre?
Bryce Blackwell says Flyers 3-0, baby. That was a goal ago.
1-2. Is that better? Is that better?
I didn't think you were bad at all.
You were good.
I
mean, what might have been coming out was bad because
1-2. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, scroll up. Everything comes out good.
And Brink said, I don't see a major trade coming. JM chimed in and said they're trading for a DB. I believe that.
Yeah, that's the smart one.
Yeah, Brink says that fans are undervaluing the roster. This is a very good team. I think they beat Minnesota. I don't undervalue the roster. I do think there's areas on this roster that are in definite need of improvement, and if you don't, you're watching through green-colored glasses. Because if you don't think that secondary...
Is our broadcast interrupted on Facebook? Sorry, go ahead.
No, if you don't think that secondary needs to be upgraded, you're definitely looking through it through the green-colored glasses.
That has nothing to do with the roster. That's just injuries alone.
Yeah.
Because you're without, Sydney's limited or maybe back now, but no Avante, no Jalen, no Ronald. That's 3 top-level guys that you're out, roster or not.
Yeah. Corey DiBiase chimed in. He said, what's up with Deshaun Jackson? It's an abdomen injury or sports hernia. They're saying it's an abdomen injury. I think it is a sports hernia, which is why they're being so cautious with him.
Yeah, when we had the doc on Sunday, he mentioned that rest is one of the, natural cures for it.
Right.
But it's
Yeah,
also
keeps doing this. It's doing that on your end because everybody's saying it.
it's one of those injuries though that is very easily re-aggravated. So if you don't do it properly, it could be longer than.
Avante?
No, we're back to Deshaun. And the sports hernia.
Because the doc even said I don't know that it's probably not terribly bad, but it's probably bad enough that it's that he doesn't need surgery and he can get away with it, but it's just going to take him time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you might not see him till week 10. And that's fair. And I think that's what we're all at.
I just have to laugh at this, though. I'm sorry. So Philly 0024 says, Odell ain't getting traded, even listened to. LOL. That report probably by some dude trying to get attention. Maybe, maybe not. And then Brinkman chimed in and he said, I think Kyle reported the Odell trade. That would be some dude trying to get attention. It's funny, though.
The whether true or not, the Odell rumor just tells me exactly what we've kind of all said about Deshaun is maybe he's not back as soon as they wanted to or they were expecting. So now we may have to look at that position because if you look at the snap chart, now granted it was a blowout. They probably weren't running their regular offense as they would. Mm-hmm. But Jeffrey and Aguilar played every snap offensively.
Right.
Ertz and Goddard just about. Mm-hmm. And then Mac Hollins as your third wide receiver was on the field about half of the time.
And did J-Jaw even see the field?
I don't think he saw the field at all. So they went in a lot of two tight end sets because they didn't want to drop past Nelson.
Right. And so there's a lot of people there that are kind of in the tube chat ripping on the Odell thing. Let's not forget that the Eagles were not the only team mentioned in that rumor. It was the Eagles, the 49ers, and
the Patriots.
The Patriots. I was going to say there was an AFC team.
Why can't somebody report something if they heard it? You know what I mean? Like, why can't a guy with a source and a check mark say, hey, I heard this from a credible source that, they're going to listen. Listening to offers and trading for guys are two different things.
And a GM calling about a guy, it happens every day.
Well, and
that's a GM's job.
Right. And if you look at the three teams that are mentioned, the Eagles, obviously, Deshaun's injured. The Patriots, Antonio Brown didn't work out. They still don't know whether Josh Gordon is going to work out. The 49ers, they just signed Jordan Matthews.
I was going to say, can you name a wide receiver?
Yeah, I could name. I got one. I could name three of them. Not one of them is sexy. You got what? Deebo Samuel, Dante Pettis, and Jordan Matthews.
Isn't Marquise Goodwin still there?
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's my one, though. I wouldn't have got the other three.
So Brodo chimed in, and he said Trent Williams is someone the Browns could trade for, especially involving Odell if the Redskins would do it. That's actually interesting. Send Odell back to the NFC East.
Yeah, I just don't know why Daniel Snyder's an idiot.
He is an idiot.
So, maybe.
Unless we can talk Daniel Snyder into giving Trent Williams and us getting OBJ somehow, and we just give up a pick for Trent. In a three-teamer, three-way.
Like I said, I think somebody will be trading something.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be getting something. If it's a star player, I think we can all say, yeah, we hope. But regardless, I think we're going to come away with 1 to 2 good players, if not one star type player and then one good player. I just got a feeling.
I got one here that I just got to put on the tee for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt Haxton. Who's enjoying this 4-0 Flyers game? They're looking really aggressive. And who saw that save at the end of the second when New Jersey was on the 2-minute 5-on-3 power play?
Listen, it was an unbelievable save by Carter Hart. But we knew, we were watching it and we're like, listen, if they kill this 5-on-3, they're going to score goals.
Yep.
We talked about it. It's like in baseball, it's like getting out of the base loader jam with no outs. And the team's going to come up and hit. We talked about it in football. You stop a team 4th and goal on the one. They go 99 on you. We couldn't think of one for basketball.
Not
really.
A good one.
Not a good one. So it's funny just how sports work. Like, man, you go over this 5-on-3 and you take all the momentum away. Mm-hmm. Like, shit, we can't score on this team 5-on-3. And the mental side's like,
on the other side, too. Yeah, you're right.
And you lax, and the other side says, oh, my God, we're way better than them. Let's go.
Yep.
And this is what you get. Now you got a 4-0 Flyers lead. 4 points early, baby. Let's go. I love it. We talked about this. This could be a huge winner for Philadelphia sports.
Yeah.
Because I think this hockey team finally got their goalie, which changes everything. They got a ton of young talent. And then you talk about the Sixers. They're coming in, palms up, aggressive. Joel in the best shape of his career. Ben's hitting threes. We could just be getting tense on Broad.
By the way, do you know what that spread was last night for that game?
No.
Going in, you mean?
Yeah.
It had to be at least 50.
It was exactly 50.
Was it really?
It was the Sixers were minus 50. You know what they won by?
Was it 49?
48.
48.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Michael DeAndrea says secondary or D-line, which
No, absolutely.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
I'm right there with him. Eric Jacinto, what's up? What's up, Eric?
What up, Eric?
What's up, E?
Carlos Guzman, we need to make a big trade. We're on a win-now mode. Have a lot of veterans. Carlos, I completely agree with you.
Yep.
When you get yourself in this mode.
Oh. Did you see that? Sorry. I didn't even realize that. Claude Giroux is now the longest tenured athlete in Philadelphia. Yes, sir. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he is. Yep.
That's crazy.
Eric Jacinto, I don't agree with you, brother. The big trades don't happen in the NFL. They absolutely do now. I don't know what league you're watching. You want to say in season? I'll say, okay.
Right.
But I think they're going to happen more frequently than you think they're going to happen. And out of season, we already seen it this all season.
Yep.
Big trades happen now.
You know what's funny?
Brinkman said he bet on Ben Simmons to win MVP at Parks today, 41-1 odds.
Not bad odds.
That's
like
some
it.
damn good money right
like
there.
it.
You know what my fear is, right? So say we trade for Emmanuel Sanders, OBJ. I could just 4 weeks into it, I could just just imagine a Mike Rowe press conference and go,
I don't know.
I'm having a hard time getting OBJ into this offense.
Kind of like Golden Tate.
Kind of like
last year.
Golden Tate, but it's a level above Golden Tate.
Right.
Here's how you get OBJ in the offense. Throw him the ball.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't even think OBJ's coming here.
I
think they're going to focus more on the defense side of the football. At least I think they should. Eric Jacinto says, I'm in Sixers mode or mood. Yeah, I'm getting there too. Yes, in season is what he meant. But still, I think it's going to happen more and more. Michael DeAndrea, Sixers going to be really good. Can't wait. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Tristan Russo, welcome back, guys. Welcome back, Fly Guys. Yup. Yes, yeah, you know it. Jeff Lohmeyer, evening, gentlemen. What's up, Jeff?
What up, Jeff?
And Christian Carroll, Konechny is my favorite player now. Dude is all grit.
Yeah,
well said, Christian.
He's on fire right now.
They're fun to watch again, brother. I begged for it for years. I was so sick and tired of being slower than everybody. I was sick of it. I was sick of 1960 hockey. And finally, we can skate. We skate, boys. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Some of us can skate.
We don't skate, but they skate.
I don't skate. This is good.
I used to. Stopping was another issue.
They added speed and size. This is the team we've been fucking waiting for.
Let's go, Robbie. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Tristan Russo, Sixers are going to be scary good this year. Yes, they already are. They're scary good. They're better than they were last year at this time.
Yeah.
They're better.
So this is actually interesting. Philly 0024. I'm not trying to rip on anyone, LOL. I just find it hard to believe that the Browns are even thinking about trading Odell after 5 games. Although if it's true, he's definitely worth a similar package to Ramsey. I actually think if you're at 5 games and you're just not convinced that he's your answer, you cut bait now. It's not like you have a season and a half invested in this guy. If you could just take the name and divorce the name from the stats and just trade the name because there's still name value there. You could, realistically, if you think there's anything wrong with him or he was overrated or whatever the case may be when you traded for him and you could flip him and you could get value back after 5 games, why wouldn't you if you're Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't agree with why would they trade him, 5 games in? I don't agree with that. They've underachieved. Okay, I'm not saying he's the reason,
right?
But this is a bad organization.
He's an asset.
If you think this is a great organization, again, or period,
or ever,
you're delirious right now. They got to prove that.
Yeah,
and they haven't proved that. They proved that they can. They've always been able to acquire picks. Now, granted, it's a different regime now,
right?
But it's still the same mindset of acquiring picks. And John Dorsey's a pick guy, and he went all in. And if they lose another game or two, right? They lose another game or 2 in a row. Somebody tell me that it's not panic mode or why it can't happen here, New England, the Niners, anywhere he's linked to. I'm not saying he's coming here. I don't think he comes here. I think we're more into Chris Harris, D-back mode.
Yep.
And there's 3 or 4 out there. I also think we'd be in the A.J. Green pick up the phone mode-ish. But
I think we'd be more in A.J. Green mode if he was actually on the field.
On the field. And I think
that's a great name.
There's D linemen out there that we're going to pick up the phone because you know us. So maybe we don't make a move for a corner, but I can almost promise either they go corner and they do what they did against the Jets. They move Graham inside more.
Right.
Okay, and then you get Sweat on the field.
Or Hall.
Or Hall just for some more athleticism on your outside, on your wide 9, because Brandon stops the run so well.
Yep.
So you can get away with it. So unless they can do it that way until Timmy comes back, you need another D tackle or DN. I mean, you're going Whiteside and freaking Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
No.
That's not good enough. I need a playmaker there. Malik Jackson, Tim Jernigan can kill you.
Yeah.
So now you have to say, okay.
I mean, Akeem Spence can stop the run, but that's it.
That's it. And and especially like this week, right? This week's the MO of pressure up the middle, you win.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure up the middle, you beat Kirk Cousins, and it could be an easy one.
Yeah. And we talk about Howie and being a GM, picking up the phone, asking about other players. Well, John Dorsey's just doing his diligence as well. If someone's going to ask about Odell, again, that's why they're called rumors. Someone's going to ask about Odell, he's going to say, yeah, he's available for the right price. What you got for me?
Pope just spooged on the keyboard.
I love beating the
Youngest player in franchise history to what?
Record a shutout, I think.
Record a shutout?
Or something. Yeah, I didn't get the whole one.
Yeah, is that what it said? If anybody saw that, let us know.
Oh, you got the remote? Rewind it.
Nah,
So we gave a ride out here.
Kenny Shiflett, Hart is a great goalie.
Absolutely.
No question, brother.
I mean, the Corey Price comparisons. I mean, that's or Carey Price.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, that's kind
I
of.
mean, that's pretty crazy rumor or comparison right there.
Right, and we were actually talking about that before you came in, Greg. That the fact that on the radio tonight, Coates was talking about how it's just, Carter Hart is their number one goalie. It's not a question. It's not a dispute. There's no goalie controversy, and they don't feel any degree of shakiness at all about playing a kid who is essentially still a rookie.
Yeah.
In net.
Nor should they.
There's just no shakiness.
Finally.
Everything is just
Finally.
It is the utmost confidence that they go in, into games with him between the pipes. Still 3-0, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I say finally because finally we have a regime not scared to play kids.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it started last year with Patrick. Obviously coming in, making the team right away or 2 years ago.
Right. Well, this is interesting. Matt Haxton also said, did you see that stat where the Flyers have the most head coach experience on their staff?
It's huge.
Out of any team in the NHL.
It's huge.
When Brian Daly and I went to that practice,
No, you're good.
he mentioned that. Like, part of what makes this coaching staff so good and what was so smart about what they did is not only did they bring in Vigneault, but you bring in Yao and the other I'm blanking on his name. Michel Therrien. And they're all working on key pieces of each individual game. Yeah. And he said, yeah, absolutely.
Did Terry take the Habs to the finals?
I believe so.
He did.
Yeah.
So you got 2 coaches on that staff that have gone to the finals. Vigneault twice. It's great leadership. It's exactly what this team needs. Period.
Listen, I'll say this: when you talk about a lot of coaches and good coaches and how it changes and helps players and the whole nine, well, it just goes to show you how important not Doug Peterson is, but how important a Gabe Kapler needed to be when we get into the Phillies later and the collapse and the collapses. So Michael DeAndre, consider the Eagles are number 1 against the run. I think the game goes through Cousins and got to get him early and often. Yeah, I
agree.
Up the middle, you got to pressure him up the middle. He's not getting outside and running around. So, to me, that's an easy part. But you got to knock him around early and let him know you're there.
Well, interesting stat. So, the Eagles have given up, I think it was 318 yards on the ground through 5 games.
Total.
Wow.
Okay.
They are, I believe it's 2nd or 3rd in the NFL in rush defense. Aaron Rodgers had, I believe it was 68 of that. And there was one gadget play in the Detroit game where they ran an end around for like 42. So that's 110 out of the 318 that were by a scrambling quarterback and a gadget play. I mean, the Le'Veon Bell averaged 2.6 yards carry, and that is the highest per carry average of any one of the starting running backs that they faced this year.
Well,
you just can't run on this team.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what happens on Sunday because it's strength on strength. It's Dalvin Cook, who's probably the best running back in the NFL right now, against a top 3 run defense.
Yeah. And it's funny you say he averaged 2.6. I thought that was low because he touched the ball every damn time.
Well,
it was like
there was literally nothing else.
He got every ball.
It's funny though because if you look at him from a fantasy perspective, especially in a PPR, because I think he had like 8 catches for 46 yards too. So he wound up with like a 20-point day and did 0 damage.
Did nothing.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
It's just funny. So Philly 0024 just kind of, I guess when we were talking about the Sixers a second ago, it said Matisse is already better than Rocco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I didn't think that was hard to do. I saw people today, James Hayden was saying that, is Thibault the next Rocco? I hope not. I hope he's better than him.
Well, if you want to say that, Rocco was the 3 and D and that's what they expect out of Thibault, sure. He's the next, but I would expect him to be better than.
Yeah, I want a guy who can finish at the cup a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like Rocco couldn't make a goddamn layup. I want guys like that. Like I understand the premise of the 3 and D, but I want him to be better than him.
Right.
I want him to be stronger than him with the basketball. I want certain things better.
And you would think for a guy who traditionally struggles with the outside shot would be able to get to the rack a little bit better than obviously Rocco.
Yeah.
You would think.
That's what I said. You would think.
You would think.
I feel like Josh Richardson. Jason Richardson, Jesus Christ. Rewinding.
Jay Rich!
I'm rewinding to the tank days.
Jay Rich!
Take me back.
Yeah.
I almost bought season tickets that year.
Good
Lord.
But I think I feel like he's going to be like the glue guy.
Dude, I think he's going to be better. I think he's going to have better numbers than Jimmy Butler here. I truly do.
Well, I don't know that he's going to be better only because I don't think he's going to get the Jimmy touches. But I think he's going to be a guy who's going to be like 10, 8, 8, and 4. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be aggressive. That's the crazy thing. I think you're going to have these guys all dropping 20 a night. Plus, I really do. I think what you're going to get
is going to score 140 a night.
I think you're going to score a ton. Because your 5 starters have to bring you a ton of production for this basketball team. They have to. So I think he's in the perfect role to drop more than he did last year, which is about 15 and a half, 16. I think he's in an even better situation to drop 20 in this role because you got to worry about all these other guys and you're going to forget about him. Now every night, maybe not, but I think he could average it because I think all 5 starters have to average it, right? Because then you're talking about 100 points right there.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah, but I think their bench is better than it has been.
Scoring wise, I don't think you're getting a lot. You're getting Mike Scott and James Ennis. And what else do you know coming off your bench? Zaire a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you don't have.
But we don't know about those guys. But I think those are those X factors.
Probably better. What are you getting from a bench production? 20 points, 25.
Yeah, probably about that.
Okay, so then you're 125 a game, which is in today's NBA where you got to be really.
Yeah.
If you're going to be as good as you think you are. Maybe not 125, but you know what I mean? In that area.
TTP ball and guys need to hop off the Baker Mayfield hate. He's a second-year quarterback working behind a terrible O-line. He's going to get better over time. There's nobody here that hates Baker Mayfield.
My son.
This has not been about him one bit.
My son, I agree with you completely. I don't think it's completely on him. I think some things are. I think that he thinks he can run in this league and move around.
Right.
He's misguided. You know what I mean? Kyle Murray said the biggest thing he noticed in first coming into this league was that I can't get around the DN like I could in college. You're talking about a guy running a 4.5. It's different. Mm-hmm. It's different. So he said that's his biggest adjustment. Baker's got to realize the same damn thing. You can move around the pocket and slide in the pocket, but you're not running a lot.
And and this is no disrespect to Baker. He's no athlete to what Kyler Murray is.
Right.
No. So you got to be able to throw the
that's
pocket.
even.
But that O-line is killing it because they're up the middle's been terrible. Mm-hmm. And they traded their starting guard to the Giants, and this is what you get.
Bunch of people in the YouTube chat talking about if they're going to talk to the Bengals about anybody, talk to them about Geno Atkins.
I love
Which
Geno Atkins.
That's a
Great
great
name. Yeah, absolutely.
Great name.
We'll take AJ and Geno off your hands, and we'll give you.
A first and a third.
Well, how old's Geno now?
He's got to be 30.
I need that before I can say what I would give up for him. Because what's AJ, 30?
Get that. We'll get that for you too. Greg, you get Geno. I'll get
Geno.
AJ.
31.
Okay.
I'll get AJ.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
31 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, not giving up a first.
Yeah,
For both of them?
Nope. I'll give up. I'll give up like a second and
Whoa,
maybe
whoa. Hold on. Let me go back to that real quick.
maybe
Hold
a
the phone.
Maybe a second and a 3. Maybe 2 and a 3 tops. Why would I give up a lot for that? Maybe a third and a fifth.
Well, here's and to your point, AJ Green is in the last year of his deal.
Mm-hmm.
At a base of just under 12. And let me go back 1 second. Let's see what Geno Atkins' deal is. Just to
Ricky going, I'll give up a second and a fourth for Geno and AJ. I agree with you, brother. I'm right around there.
Well, here's what's interesting, real quick though.
Yeah.
So, an article by Gil Brandt just updated literally at like 9:18 p.m. So, the 3 teams that were mentioned in the rumor for Odell, Patriots, 49ers, Eagles.
Yep.
All in the mix for A.J. Green, along with the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints.
And it makes sense. So if I'm calling about AJ, hey, Greg's looking up Geno's contract, but I mean, I'll go 3 and a 5. I got 31-year-old players. Like, I'm not giving up a ton.
Geno is signed through 22 at just about 12, 13 a clip.
Okay. All right. I mean,
Through 22.
So that's why I'm not getting.
And there's a potential buyout after 19, but there's almost $8 million in dead cap if you buy him out.
Yeah. So listen, it's fine. You're taking money out of it. You're relieving money in their cap, which is a huge help for them. and you're giving them a 3 and a 5. It's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
It's a no-brainer. You're bringing in 2 vets. Geno's still really good.
Oh, yeah.
And you put Geno next to Fletch, it could be something crazy.
Absolutely.
Tristan Rizzo, we don't need AJ Green. We need a speedster. Well, when AJ's healthy, Tristan,
Guy can flat out
he can
fly.
move a little bit.
While I agree with this premise, if you're rolling out Alshon, AJ, and then Nelson's your speed guy.
Yeah.
And AJ and Alshon
Or
or
catch radius
AJ
cats.
and Alshon are your catch. Yeah, exactly.
Or you throw up and go get
Are
it.
your 15, 20-yarder guys that you just throw up and go get.
Wilson said Kitchen should change his name to Freddie. Freddie Toilets.
You're not wrong. He's
Tony
not
was
good.
saying Baker talks too much for his ego. That's what's making him hated already. I don't know. Who doesn't talk?
Actually, you know what?
You know what I mean? Who
So
doesn't
with
talk?
all the stuff that went down with Richard Sherman and the whole, did he shake his hand or didn't he on Monday night, and then Bosa with the flag and everything like that, like I actually thought Baker handled it really well. I see major signs there of him maturing, growing up. Like a lot of the shit that got on people's nerves when he was in college, he's past it.
But look at a guy, you even brought him up. Look at Richard Sherman, right? Mm-hmm. And like you said, everybody at this level talks. These guys are wired differently.
Oh, yeah.
If these guys aren't mentally there, which for some of them is chirping, is talking.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about Travis Konechny. That dude never shuts up.
All right.
Richard Sherman, well, part of his game is trying to get under your skin.
Yeah,
to where you're not the guy. I don't buy.
guy
I don't,
shook your
I don't
damn
buy
hand,
the.
man.
I don't buy the talk. But I don't buy the talking. Like, he talks too much.
Who doesn't?
Who cares?
Have you seen guys on social media? Everybody talks. I'm not sticking up for Baker. I'm just telling you, everybody talks. Has he backed up his talk? Hell no, he hasn't. Has he got help to back up his talk from his head coach, his offensive line, and his skill position guys? Hell no. It's a team thing.
Right.
Like, is it a sophomore slump? Could it be? Absolutely, it could be. But when you trade away a guard for a skill position guy, and you don't find a replacement, and you're getting your ass kicked up front, and your quarterback thinks he can run around when he can't, this is what you're getting. Tom, call out that fake ESPN Rams fan. I thought he was coming on the live. Listen, I invited him on the show tonight. You want to say, oh, you can't post about OBJ. You're just looking for clickbait, fake news. Dude, there's rumors all around Twitter by, like, legit guys who you can trust or have given you real information.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, and we just said, hey, there's a rumor going around. You in?
We didn't say it was locked. We said rumor.
Right.
You in?
Rumor.
Some
You know what
guy-
the definition is.
If you interned at an AM station, right? Don't even try to come at me, okay? Because I'll just up you that I actually worked at a dial station behind the board. So I already beat you in that game. So you lost. So just shut the fuck up. I mean, I'm not even getting A2D yet. You know, I didn't get there yet. I mean, it's a double beatdown.
The AM station. I love it.
Grow up on the AM.
So I want to address something real quick here.
Sorry, Ricky Galone wants give a third, a fifth, and D-Jacks for AJ and Gino.
What?
I don't know why he threw the D-Jacks.
I don't know why you threw a D-Jax.
But-
You just re-signed them.
He's also not healthy, so.
John Ross stinks, Eric. I want no parts of John Ross.
Well, it's funny because that's exactly where I was just going.
Get out of my head.
So the station just dropped a post. Is it time to say Sidney Jones is a bust? And the caption on the photo: Eagles seem to be growing frustrated with Sidney Jones. You know, shit. Kind of the way that the Sixers were frustrated with Markelle Fultz.
Yep.
Kind of the way that the Bengals are frustrated with John Ross. Common thread?
What, 1 for 1?
UW.
UW.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
And
want-
you know what UW is? SAWFT. Soft.
Soft. And Markel's going to have a great year watching. But that being said, I want no parts of
All I
it.
saw was layups, though.
I'm not ready to give – listen, what's Sidney, 23 years old?
Yeah.
24?
I'm not ready to give up yet,
I
but
give up? No. Am I confident?
Nope.
No, because your best ability is availability, and he hasn't been on the goddamn football field. So when you say that to me, you know, he's been a bust because he hasn't played. So you're a bust that way. If you can't get on the field and play enough, you become a bust. But I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I just love how even they're bringing it up with Baker. Baker's barely played a full year. You know, but he's in his second year, right? So hypothetically, Sidney, after the injury, is in his second year. Like we're claiming guys are bust after second years,
right.
Like some of these guys take a little transition. Yes, has Sidney been disappointing because he's not on the field? 100%.
And is he soft? Probably.
And is he soft? Yeah, he went to UW. They're
Yeah,
all
went to
soft
UW,
up there in the Pac-12. You know, but it's like, are we a bust?
But he wasn't. He wasn't that guy. He wasn't soft in college. He hits you. He was physical. He was a bump and run guy. He could take away one
the
side
whole
of the field.
Pac-12 soft, so he could be soft. He could be
Shut
tough.
up.
He could be like capital soft, and
When you get your beak wet at the corner position, you ain't soft. Now listen, when he's on the field, he's played pretty well.
Yeah, he has.
So
Sure.
I mean, I can't call you a bust yet. When my eyes have shown me that when you played, you're not bad.
Right.
So can I get some consistency? Can you play a little bit more? Now, do I want any parts of John Ross? Hell
no.
Stinks. Okay, I don't care that he can fly.
By the way,
I don't care. He stinks.
That actually was Carter Hart's first NHL shutout.
That was what we were right.
That's
Okay,
what it
maybe
was.
youngest player.
First time reading something right for the kid. Let's go. Mike.
Hooked on phonics works for me.
So Tony Vizinga asked a great question, and it's important, and I want to get to it and piggyback off of it. But he said, do you all think we can go 3-0 on the next 3 straight road games? So, Tony, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go this with you, okay? Because
hold on. Before you do that, let's address this 2 ways. Can they and will they? All right?
okay.
All right, so go ahead.
So before I even get to can they or will they, right? We'll say over the next 6 games, knowing that your last 5 are cupcakes, where you really can run a table your last 5. So I'm giving myself them 5 games in the win-loss record. I'm saying they're wins. So tack it on to the 3 wins you have right now. So you're 5, 6, 7,
So
8.
you're 8-2.
You're 8-2. Okay. Now over the next 6, which is your toughest stretch of your schedule, if you go 4-2, where are you, Greg?
12-4.
12-4. If you go 3-3, where are you, Greg?
11-5.
11-5. So if you look at it like that, over the next 6, I got to play 500 football or 1 game above to essentially get to 11-5, 12-4. If I go 4-2, it even allows me to cough up one of them games and still be 11-5.
Right.
Makes sense? So now, back
makes perfect sense.
Now back to will they go 3-0? And so it was will they or
Can they?
Will they? And then can they?
Right.
Will they?
With the idea, though, that we've been talking for weeks now, that their schedule flips, and you just hit the nail on the head, that their last 5 games, they should finish no worse than 4-1. No worse than 4-1.
No,
Future Philly.
Yeah.
your last 5, right, Mike?
Yeah.
You said 4-1. Yep.
Yeah. So your last 5, if you're finishing 5-0, 4-1 at worst, then it's this 6-game stretch. It's 3 on the road, 3 at home with a bye dropped in there. So yeah.
So you just can't play. You can't go 2-4. You know what I mean? So I mean, this first one's important because you get this one, and the Cowboys game in Dallas is not that important to me yet. It's not because I got them again at home. I'm not supposed to win the game on the road.
Right.
I'm supposed to win the game at home. So to me, I can give that up and go beat Buffalo and go 2-1 and be good, be Gucci. I don't care about Cowboys fans heckling me. I care about getting into the dance.
Right.
That's all I care about. So I'm not going to panic on this team if we go down there and lose because then we're going to go Buffalo and we're going to win.
Right.
So then can I go? That's over 3 games. So the next 6.
You're going 2-1 in that next stretch.
Can I go 2-1 again?
And that next stretch is
And if
what?
I go 1-2, I'm still okay.
That next stretch is Seattle, New England, and
Chicago.
So realistically, you say, can I go 3-3 in
Actually,
this stretch?
flip that. It's
I wasn't in order.
no, okay, but I believe it is New England bye. No, I'm sorry. There's a bye
Before New England.
before New England.
Yeah.
Correct. So there's a bye before New England, and then it's New England, Seattle, Chicago.
Okay.
Correct.
Phil, we don't need the win against Dallas yet. We got to beat Dallas at home. You just got to go 2-1. Any way you slice this 3-gamer, if you want to break it into 3 games, you just got to go 2-1.
Yeah. Can they go 3-0? Absolutely.
Yeah, they can.
Because what travels in the NFL?
Defense.
And as you alluded to earlier, they're giving up 200 yards to running backs through 5 games.
Through 5 games, right.
To running backs.
When you go on the road and stop the run.
When you could go on the road and stop the run. And look who we're playing. Minnesota, what's their bread and butter?
Run
the football. Dallas, what's their bread and butter?
Run the football.
Run the football. Buffalo.
They don't have
They
one.
don't, the only thing they do is
They don't have one.
But Josh Allen, when he's effective,
Run the football.
is running the football. So that's what travels in the NFL. So can they go 3-0? Yes. Will they? No. They're probably going to go 2-1.
Right, and here's the thing, too, is that I've seen so much this week, people bitching about 3 straight road games, 3 straight road games, 3 straight road games. Bryce Harper, the Phillies, 3 straight road games. It's not like they're sending him back and forth across the country 3 times. They go to Minnesota, Central Time Zone.
An hour.
2.5-hour flight. They go to Dallas, Central Time Zone. It's a 3-hour flight. They go to Buffalo, still in the Eastern Time Zone. It's a 45-minute flight. These are not long road trips.
Right.
And if you can't get hyped up,
Washington scored.
all right. So if you can't get hyped up enough to go up to Minnesota to basically rekindle that rivalry from the NFC Championship game of 2 years ago when they came into your house last year and beat you, and then started talking about how the NFC Championship game was fugazi. And then if you can't get yourself up to go down to Dallas to play a division rival, then you know what? Then you deserve to lose when you go to Buffalo.
Yeah, well, the last time I checked, we played in that stadium. We played pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a jab that.
And I will say this: if they beat Minnesota and Dallas, they go to Buffalo and they fucking boat race.
Oh, I agree. If they go 2-0,
If they go 2-0, they go 3-0.
I agree.
Yeah.
And listen, like I'm telling people.
Oh, you go. But I was going to go the other way. They go lay a dud.
No, I don't think that turns into a trap at all. I think that just becomes a boat race.
Yeah,
That's just momentum going in right there.
Eric, they don't beat anybody good. So I'm not going to say I'm not worried about their defense. I'm really, truly not worried about the Vikings defense that much because I think we're going to shut Kirk Cousins the hell down. But Brian Mullins.
I will say this. I can see a very low-scoring game.
I could. Or I could see us freaking lighting lamps, too, and shutting their ass down. Brian Mullins, 2-1. We good. All we have to do is split with Dallas, and the division is ours for the taking.
Pretty much.
Well said, brother. Yep. Well said. And I responded to him, telling him that. Tony Vizinga, I'm calling it now. We're going 3-0. Screenshot.
Giddy up.
Screenshot talk. Let's
Giddy
go,
up.
Tony. Let's go, brother. I don't disagree with you. They can.
And Howie Kendrick.
Take him out. Damn it, Howie. Ruining an inning. You're ruining an inning. Soto's just clapping over at you. You're ruining an inning.
We saw enough of that last year.
Ralphie D.
right.
Ralphie D. Guys, it's Kirk Cousins. He don't scare me. I agree, Ralphie. Agreed. He doesn't beat teams. He doesn't beat many teams with over a 500 record.
I agree with that, but I don't necessarily know that there's anybody on the back end of the Eagles' defense right now that can cover Adam Thielen or Stephon Diggs. They're going to have to get to the quarterback.
There isn't. I just got to believe.
They're going to have to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
They got to beat him up early. They got to do the same thing they did against the Jets.
Right.
In a way.
And
They're not going to get 10 sacks.
And have to think Luke Falk is Casey or Kirk Cousins is Luke Falk. Like, go ruin this guy's career.
No, absolutely.
Oh, TTP Ballin says Zion dropped 29 tonight on 12 of 13 shooting. He's a little bit of a stud.
Derek Walters, when do we make a move? Talking about the Eagles. I would assume within the next couple weeks, Derek, obviously. you know, if they do, I think they do something. We all think they do something. Mike thinks it's something smaller. Me and Greg agree that a blockbuster could happen.
Yep.
So, it just depends on what you think and how big's Howie's sack. Geno Atkins and A.J. Green is a blockbuster to me.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're 31, you're in win now mode. Go win it. What's a 3 and a 5? You don't draft that well anyway. So what the hell's a 3 and a 5 matter to you?
You ain't wrong. I'm going to predict a trade happens
I love it.
on or before October 29th.
You don't draft that well anyway, so.
It's like you're worried about it. Like, I'm going to miss on 3 and 5. Who gives a shit? You can't win with people, though. Like, I love our fan base. Like, nobody wants to give up ones because they're all playing Madden, and they love their picks after the season's over, right? After they simulate because they just want to get to the offseason.
Yeah. They want to get to the draft.
Yeah, then you got your other cats who act like 3 and 5s are like some kind of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Bitcoin. Man. You heard about Bitcoin? You can't go 3 and 5. That shit's special. Like, no, 3 and 5s mean nothing when you don't draft well. Bill Belichick, New England Patriots, right? You're too consistent as your head coach and your quarterback, so you're always going to be good, right? But you think about it for a second. Think about how many misses they've had in the draft where they made up in free agency. They're aggressive, too. Mm-hmm. They're aggressive trading. Mm-hmm. So they don't always nail stuff, which you can't expect teams to.
Right.
But they do. Like, don't tell me star corners don't win. They went and gave Stephon Gilmore a lot of money, and he shut down the side of the field. They get the best defense in football.
Yep.
Okay? So they've missed, but they've made up for it. They always find a way to, fill that need in some way.
And the McCourty brothers are okay.
Look pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. So my point is that sometimes you have to fix, not mistakes per se,
but mistakes.
But misses.
Yeah.
You have to sometimes say, you know what, I gotta fix this.
No, I gotta address this.
Address away.
Jason Levinson in the YouTube chat. Can't we stick Douglas on Thielen and let McLeod spy on Cooks in the screen game? If you put Rasul Douglas one-on-one against Adam Thielen is going to have 12 for 200 and 3 touchdowns. It's not, and that's not a knock on Rasul. That's just not the kind of guy he covers.
Right.
He does not cover the fast, shifty wide receivers.
Who the hell is covering?
He covers the big, I'm going to go up and beat you to the ball type of wide receivers.
And he has played well.
Who the hell's covering him?
You. Me.
That's
who? Craig James?
That's my question.
Craig James?
Who's covering him?
Craig who? Craig James?
I would actually feel more comfortable putting Rasul on Stephon Diggs' island and saying, okay.
Because I know they don't throw the ball to him.
Right.
Because they don't even know he's still the team.
Yeah.
which is unbelievable. Because you know what? You put Stephon Diggs on this team, Maron.
Yeah.
I'll take Maron. I'll take him.
Carson's going to eat.
I'll take Stephon. You don't want to throw him the football, I will. So listen, fam. Well, we're up against it, obviously, because the first Facebook feed went out. So I don't have my counter.
Yeah,
right.
We're at 45.
So
yeah.
Good. We'll do this. We'll take our break, and we'll come back on the other side, and we're going to give our predictions for Eagles-Vikings. We'll give our score predictions, offensive, defensive player of the game. Chance for you guys, all right, to win $50 from us to you. All you got to do is score offensive, defensive player of the game. That's a tiebreaker. And listen, You need free picks, right? 20% off. Use the A2D promo code. ATSSportPicks.com. That's ATSSportPicks.com. Use the A2D promo code. 20% off. They're on fire. They're on fire. I'm in. I'm in with them. I'm using them. I went against them. I went against it tonight because I went Nationals, and Stroudsburg lied to me because he's a scumbag. But every Wednesday we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. We'll also get in John Middleton and Gabe Kapler, lock of the week fantasy-wise, and whatever the hell you want, all that on the other side. We'll see you in a few, fam.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Tom and Mike, AM and the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues and expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional sports. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2Dradio.com.
Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2D Radio, live from the Real Talk Studios. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by our certified public accountant.
Make 'em yours.
Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. If you just joined us, Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwagvik, Robbie Pove on the ones and twos. You want to win some money? You're a gambler? Listen, we all throw some fuzzles around. Don't lie to me. All right, we're not going to lie to you. You want to make some money? Use A2D promo code. Use promo code A2D. And go to ATS Sports. Sorry, I always get that wrong.
Yeah.
ATSSportPicks.com. ATSSportPicks.com. Use A2D promo code and get yourself 20% off. Use promo code A2D, whatever. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
That becomes semantics. Correcting myself on semantics, which is fine. That's what we're here to do. Family, if you're jumping on from Instagram or Twitter over to Facebook or YouTube, welcome. For everybody stuck with us during the break, welcome. And let's dive into it. Let's get right in to the meat and goddamn potatoes, and that's Eagles, Vikings, and a big game for this football team again. And now you start a 3-game stretch on the road. So a gigantic game. You know, you always want to go, when you got this little road trip, you always want to go get game one.
Right.
You always want to start feeling good about yourself. So, boys, give me a score prediction, and we want the family out there to do it as well. And offensive defensive player of the game. And when we'll break it down, we'll give up some key matchups, and we'll dive all into it. But let's start with our scores, and we'll go offense to begin with, and then we'll circle back around for D.
All right. Before I get my score, I got to get a couple Uncle Sweeps comments in before I get yelled at again. Diggs has been a non-factor. Captain Kirk can't get him the ball. Go figure. Don't tell Chuck's 3s and 5s are meaningless. He will body slam your ice cream cone. Start reading my text now, Steppy. And by the way, Strasburg is pitching his dick off.
Yep.
A couple mistakes, but battling through 6.
Yep.
With that being said,
Well, what the hell does he have a bug in here? Was he listening during the commercial? Jesus Christ!
I wouldn't put it past him.
I feel like he does because
Yeah.
he had info on the game Friday night, and I don't know where he found it.
It's like literally everything we said during the commercial break was like Sweeps' last 3 messages.
Seriously, he must be listening.
I think it's going to be a very close game. I'm going 24. I say close game. I mean one score. I'm going 24-17.
24-17.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going Eagles. I just think obviously the Eagles defense is going to travel, but Minnesota's also got a very good defense. So I'm going 24-17. My offensive player of the game is Deshaun Jackson.
Yes, he's not playing. I know your style.
Right. I just don't want to get anybody else hurt.
Jabroni.
I agree with you. We don't want you to
It's
either.
it's bigger than me. I got Malik Jackson hurt week 1, and I'm never going to live that down.
Nope, you won't. That's why you're a problem. Bob Menery said it the best. Mike, what do you got?
I'm going 16-13 Eagles.
Wow. You guys both going low.
And I said earlier, I had a feeling it could be very low scoring. Offensive player of the game, I'm actually going to the dark side. I'm going Dalvin Cook on this
Oh,
one.
my God. Kurt Suzuki's dead.
You get hit in the face?
I think so. That pitch went up and in.
Did he foul it off his face, or
No.
did he not swing at all? I didn't see it.
No, he didn't swing.
No, yeah, he just spun it and just wasn't quick enough.
Wow.
It was probably like 97, right?
Yeah.
And Bueller, you know, that's Bueller still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you can go walk up to him. You know what I'm saying? You're allowed to. I know it's playoffs.
Wow.
Like when he first drilled him, he could have walked out. You know.
Yeah.
Guy goes down holding his sweeps. Just said, by the way, Suzuki is dead. I said, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you really
Dude,
are.
he is bugged.
I mean, you're mic'd up. I just said that 2 seconds ago.
When
Get out of
he
our heads.
came in the studio on Sunday to set everything up,
Yeah,
he
that's what he
bugged
did.
the thing.
He's
That's what he did.
He bugged
He's
it.
got a bug in here.
He's got it. I mean, he's literally get out of
Here
our
we go.
heads.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's a replay.
Sorry.
Yeah, drilled him right in the face. Off his hand, off his face.
All right, so it was off his hand.
Okay, it went off his head. So it went off the helmet.
Yeah, like forehead. A little better. Yeah, not much. You're right. A little better though than direct to the face.
Wasn't that Michael Taylor, an earlier game in the series? Ball hit the knob of the bat and then glanced up and like hit his cheek or something like that. Classy move by the Dodgers fans.
Kurt, don't call me Yamaha Suzuki.
Oh, it's a huge.
Is that Rizzo?
Yep.
Listen. I know he's banged up. Prayers for Suzuki. Hopefully he's okay. But it's
It's a huge miss.
it's a huge miss. But that's a huge runner on base.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
absolutely.
That, to start an inning where you need to get some more.
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I thought it looked like it hit all helmet.
It did. But
Maybe the flap hit him.
Yeah, but the wrist and then just.
Well, the wrist,
yeah,
yes.
Well,
So the over under.
hold on a second, though, because I'd be willing to bet you they're going to go to replay on this and figure out if this hit
The bat.
the knob of the bat above his hands, or if it actually hit hand or wrist.
Yeah, to me, it definitely went off his wrist from the one replay. It went off his little guard right there.
And it's interesting because in slow-mo, I thought it got all helmet too, but apparently not.
So for the Eagles Vikings, obviously they're +3, but the over under is 44. So both of you two were under.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in a little different direction just because sometimes when you think it's going to be a defensive game, you get a little bit more of a shootout-ish. So I'm going to go 28. I'm going to go 28-24 Eagles.
So we all have the Eagles winning.
Yeah. I had the Eagles winning.
So wait, Greg, and so you didn't want to do an offensive or defensive player of the game.
Correct. Yeah.
You went to Deshaun Jackson route.
Yes.
He went injured.
Yeah, and I actually think the offensive player of the game is going to be Dalvin Cook.
Even with an Eagle, with
Eagles
win,
even with the Birds win.
because you're not going to take Jake Elliott.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it's going to be a situation where the Eagles are going to kind of say, okay, they have the best running back in the NFL. Fine, you go ahead and get yours. We're going to take away everything else.
Right. That makes sense.
And we just need to keep you out of the end zone, basically. I could see like defensive player of the game being like Malcolm, Rodney, somebody in the secondary steps up, makes a play late, preserves a victory.
Offensive player of the game. I mean, it doesn't have to be this offensive line as a whole, to me.
You could do that.
When you're going against a defense like this,
Yeah.
you want to protect 11. I think Carson has a big game in the air. I do. I think Alshon has a big game, but I think it's up to this offensive line. They got to be the player of the game.
Absolutely.
And on the defense side of the football, I'm going to say D-line, which is easy, but I'm going to go Derek Barnett. I'm going to go blindside to Kirk Cousins, a strip sack, a big play.
You're going to go Mr. Personal Foul himself.
Yeah, Mr. Personal Foul himself, because to me, right now, he's the only one who can consistently
Draw penalties.
Draw penalties, but create pressure.
Yes, no, you're right.
He's a pressure cat. Besides all the penalty issues,
Yeah.
he's still a pressure guy. So I think he has a big one. I think he gets home at least once or twice and gets a strip sack where changes the whole game. And I think Carson throws the ball well. I think we're going to run the football well too, but I just think we have an overall perfect game offensively.
Okay.
They scored 28 on the road against that defense. I think it's going to be perfect. I think after the game on Sunday night when we're doing a show, we're going to be talking about a really well put together game plan by Doug Peterson and Mike Rowe. I think you're going to get a trick play of some sort.
Okay.
Maybe some kind of reverse to Nelson or
Right,
like that, just to get him involved in some touches
So
early.
the anti-Jets offense.
And
Absolutely. Yep.
and let's not forget what happened the last time the Eagles went into that building.
Yeah, the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, did that happen?
Maybe.
Oh. You gave both.
Yes.
On the defensive side, I think a key part of this game, not only with the rushing of Dalvin, but as you know, Dalvin caught 8 catches last week too. Mm-hmm. So someone on that linebacking core is going to have to be able to cover him, whether that's Camus, whether that's Gary, Bradham, whoever it is. They're going to have to be very wary of where he is at all times.
Absolutely.
Because he's almost as much of a threat in the passing game and the screen game as he is purely running the ball.
It's a shame that they don't have Avante. That they could have Avante playing deep safety, have Rodney come step up,
Yep.
and then have Malcolm kind of be the one that just shadows
Dalvin
everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. With that said, my player of the game is going to be Malik Jackson.
Malik Jackson,
Sorry.
another one.
Yeah.
Don't say Malcolm.
No. Malik Jackson.
I heard
Another non-factor.
I got him hurt week 1, and I'm sorry. I can't do that to the fam again.
Well, listen, like I said, I think it's not an easy game, but an easy game where you know what you have to do to win the football game.
Correct.
And
the game plan should be very simple.
listen,
As simple as you can be in the NFL,
I mean,
right?
with my 28, I feel good about offensively for the Eagles. The 24 to me is the max for them. That's my max number for them. I even think it could be ugly for them where it's a 28-14. I could see us winning by 2 scores against this football team. I don't think they're any good. I think they're overhyped. I thought maybe they'd be good going into the year. Mm-hmm. I've seen enough of this guy. I've seen enough of him. Defensively, they're good. I'm not taking anything away from it, but they can be scored upon. Okay, right. I've seen them scored upon plenty before, so they can be. Okay, and offensively, besides Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen caught 2 touchdowns last week. Congratulations against a bad football team.
Yeah.
Every time they go against a good one, they seem to struggle. Now, they beat us last year at our place, but again, we got a banged-up quarterback still coming off an ACL. It's a different team. Mm-hmm. It's a better team than me this year. So I think we go down there and take care of business, I would say pretty handily. Like, I got 28-24, but, I'm more thinking like it could be a 2-score game.
See, I
I don't believe in that football team one bit.
And that's fine. I would just say to you, understanding that the team as a whole is, the sum of the parts, I look at the parts on offense, and I see an absolute complete stud puppy running back.
No question.
2 phenomenal wide receivers and a professional tight end. The weak link on that offense is their quarterback.
It's the guy who's got to distribute the football who can.
Right, but we've also seen Kirk Cousins pull these games out of his ass, especially if the pass rush isn't getting to him, where he's, 30 for 40 for, 345 and 3 touchdowns. Now, are the Eagles going to force him to throw that many times? No, absolutely not. But
I think we get a big lead where he has to. Like I think we're going to get a big lead early. I can't trust this guy. And I can't trust him. I know there's talent around them. Mm-hmm. I understand it. The best thing they do is what we do. And they run the football well. We stop the run well.
Oh, if they had a big-time quarterback, forget about it.
Yeah, then I'm nervous about it because of their defense. They tried to get their big-time quarterback. He doesn't beat good football teams. So I can't expect him. And the king of what the definition of Kirk Cousins is, you get a big lead on him, right? And then all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, he's going to start slinging the football a little bit. Right, and get his yards that way.
Here we go.
I don't remember Kirk Cousins with big league Kirk.
This is probably going to be the last pitch of the night for Walker Buehler.
Yep.
115.
Good for you, Dave Roberts, if it works or not.
Yeah.
Be aggressive.
Yep, 2-2 with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Your guy's dealing.
Your pup's dealing.
Let him go. And against great hitter and Turner. I would love a 2-run homer right now. I would absolutely
I would love him to just gas him.
Outside. Don't
Oh!
It's outside. Good call, Blue. He's smiling.
Dude,
that's 98 on the black.
At 115.
On the black. Little out.
Oh.
Little out. That's a great call. That's a great call. Look at him.
It's a nice frame job,
It
too.
is.
Filthy.
Pitch 115 was clocked at 98.
Win it, Trey. Yatta boy. Win it.
I don't like that pitch call at all.
No, go Heat.
You just got to go back to the
Heat.
I think you're going to like this comment, Tom, on
Trust your
YouTube.
stuff.
DeAndre Richardson goes 37-13 birds. Jordan Howard, offensive player of the game. Barnett, defensive player of the game. Sendeo got the scoop on the D.
Well, listen, brother.
I should probably go back to the YouTube chat.
Listen, brother.
I got your back, man.
I know you do.
saw
I'm
it.
saying, you brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm slacking over here.
Listen, I'll say it right here. When, there's nothing wrong with that score. I mean, what do we know when we've gone on the road? We went to Lambeau, and besides them scoring 10 early, we went and scored a bunch. So we can play well on the road, and that's a better football team than we're going against Sunday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can see that. And Bill Middlebrook, I understand like Kirk 6-3 against us or 5, not sure, but it's one or the other. That doesn't bother me because it's the Kirk Cousins today. It's the Kirk Cousins before the money doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. So he's really 1-0 against us because they beat us here last year. You think Kirk Cousins going 2-0 against a good football team? Not happening. Not happening. He got his one. Listen. Before the money, I would agree with you. I thought that was a great signing.
Right.
And then the real Kirk Cousins stood up. And regardless on how talented that football team is, I don't think this is going to be a tough one for us.
Well, this is interesting. Right under the DeAndre Richardson comment, TTP Ballin says, fuck all these close scores. 38-20 Birds. Nigel with a pick 6.
Ooh.
Carson throws 4. Kirk gets put on his ass at least 3 times. Let's go.
Giddy up.
I need it for fantasy. Let's go.
Brodo says 24-20 Eagles. And then he likes Alshon and Rodney.
What did he say?
24-20 Eagles.
24-20, okay.
He likes Alshon and Rodney.
42, you said the O's?
44, so he's right on it. He's right on he's pushing.
He likes pushes. He likes kissing sisters.
I
didn't want to say that, but.
Easy. You
DeAndre
have a sister, right?
Richardson says
Hey, girl.
last year was more of revenge for the NFC Championship game, pure emotion, and they
Agreed.
still barely won.
Yeah,
Agreed.
no, absolutely.
Agreed. We had the ball with a chance to win. Dennis Holmes in the house. Brandon Graham player of the game. Our defense is starting to get their swagger back. Sometimes you need a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
You need a game like that to get your confidence back. I mean, at one point in that game, everybody was getting a sack.
Yep.
Hey, it's so-and-so's first career sack. It's so-and-so's first career sack. It was like everybody.
Oh, chooch.
You get a sack. You get a sack.
Everybody
You get a
gets one.
sack.
Doug Peterson has a sack. Michael DeAndrea, don't bet against Carson. No, I won it.
Neither three of us did.
Tristan Russo, I feel really good about this game. I think we all do, Tristan. I think we all got a good feeling about it.
I think we're looking at it from different angles, but I think we do all have a really good feeling about it.
Ralphie D, 27-20 Eagles. Tristan Russo, I don't know if we did it yet, but can I get it? Can I get a bye girl for the Atlanta Braves? Bye girl.
Bye, girl.
Bye. Now you got it. Rye says no, sister. Calm down, Gregory.
Girl, bye.
Well, look at the over under before you give your score. It's the first time I ever did on this show. Well, because I just felt like you guys were sitting on unders.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll just take the other side and say, hey, we're going to score points because we usually do. We usually don't have a problem scoring. You know what I mean? Offensively,
Right?
I mean, it's just not a vibe I've gotten under Doug Peterson.
What do you guys think of this, by the way?
I love a 3-run homer.
No, I mean going to Kershaw.
No, I mean I think you got to. I love it.
I would have given Bueller one more batter
You could say that,
because it's only Adam Eaton.
but I'll go lefty.
I don't disagree.
I'll go lefty with my
Yeah, but I mean,
with my guy.
How many pitches does Kershaw get to throw tonight and still come back in
25.
3 days for
Yeah.
game one or game
25.
two?
30.
Because they'll go to Jansen after this.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't think so. I think if
well, they'll try to get him through two.
if Kershaw's in there, they're trying to get him to finish this.
I don't think he finishes. I think they go to their guy. I think they got to go to their guy.
I thought so too.
Jansen's a mess.
Tristan says, I'm calling it now again. We're going 3-0 on this road trip. Let's go. Michael DeAndrea, I think the Eagles beat Minnesota and Dallas, then lose to Buffalo. Buffalo's defense is legit.
Oh, it is.
Too legit to quit. Hey.
Sweep says the Greg Mush is in full effect. Can't believe you picked the Eagles.
Yeah, you did, you scumbag. Change your pick.
And then he says, here comes Kershaw.
Change your pick.
Suzuki's dead. Fastball to face.
But it wasn't fastball to face.
Yeah.
It was fastball to bat or wrist to face.
All right, boys. You want to get into a little Middleton?
Yeah, please.
Well, you know, he's flying around asking questions. You know,
I don't have a problem with it. I just feel like it's taking too long.
You can't not
Yeah,
give your manager a boost of confidence when everybody wants him to be fired in the city as a fan base, and you go through a 2-week stretch where you don't even give him you don't see anything good about him to like say we're going to. In a way, no, I'm listening.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
If you had to decide and it took you 2 weeks to decide if he's your guy, that means he's not your guy.
Well,
I completely agree.
You know how they're going to spin this, though. They're going to come back and they're going to say, Gabe was under contract. The question was never about whether Gabe was coming back or not. It was questions about, did we need to make changes in the front office? Did we need to make changes in the minor leagues? Did we need to make changes in the scouting department?
Yes.
Gabe was never under question, which is complete and total bullshit, and everybody knows it.
But
that's how they're going to spin it.
I'm waiting for we did improve on last year. One game,
yeah.
One game.
And don't forget, last year, you were leading the division going into, late August?
Yeah.
And you totally collapsed?
Yeah, that collapse happened a lot later than this collapse.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But when you have two of the same collapses in 2 years, don't give me injuries because it doesn't matter.
Right.
Don't give me you don't have talent. You're all major leaguers getting paid.
You signed how many All-Stars this offseason?
Yeah.
Or last year, right? I mean, you saw,
This offseason.
and then, I'm saying last season when you signed Santana, and then you went out and made all the trade deadline moves. This year you signed everybody. You didn't really do anything at the deadline except the scrap heap.
Yeah.
But don't give me that when you have the two same exact collapses. And the only one thing that we will ever, or at least I would have ever given them credit for it is, at least the guys play for him. At least they like him. Well, they might like him, but they didn't play for him.
Listen, Greg, you're spot on. I mean, at the end of the day, a new voice can change a lot.
No doubt.
Okay, and you see it around sports. Okay, sometimes you just got to change your voice. Change a little bit of the culture in the locker room.
Well, I mean, to your point right there, I guarantee you the Redskins are going to go to Miami on Sunday and absolutely annihilate the Dolphins. And not just because it's the Dolphins, because new head coach, New head coach, new voice.
The guys know their job. They come next.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
They know that their ass is now on the chopping block. They're going to go down there and they're going to absolutely annihilate Miami.
That's what happens. That's what happened here. Now guys are going to realize, well, if this guy doesn't get it done, we don't get it done with this guy, then we're the ones who are going.
Yep.
And it's that simple.
And you said it earlier, if it takes you 2 weeks to justify keeping the guy, then obviously there's no guy to keep.
Yeah.
No one is worth a 2-week exit interview.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with Middleton asking guys, but isn't that part of your exit interview at the end of the year? Like before they leave town?
Right.
Bryce Harper, hey, come on in here for a little bit. Because you're basically running this team.
Yeah,
so whatever you say goes.
But then I don't like it because I'm letting players run the show.
I'm not saying he's running the show, but
I don't
if you're going to ask him right away.
Yeah, I gotta read this real quick. TTP Ballin says, I'm heading to bed, y'all. Great show as always. Go Birds. Hashtag in Ben's jumper we trust.
Giddy up!
Let's go, brother.
Good night.
TTP, love you, brother.
Sleep tight.
We got a big winner coming up. Big winner, Sports Talk, 10-9-8. I can't wait. For
it's
it.
going to be fun.
I cannot wait to be watching games and freaking getting jacked up.
Oh, yeah.
Jacked up in here. And
On mellow yellow chip.
Yep, and we'll play a ton of prime timers. It's going to be delish in a dish. But no, listen, I'm not a believer in change just to make change. I'm a believer in change when I know that change can make us better. And I believe that anybody you hire outside of Joe Madden
And Mickey Callaway.
is better than this. Okay? And the only way you can spin taking 2 weeks is you're leaving him somewhere in the organization.
Right.
And it could be somewhere in player development.
Which we said last week would be fine because that's where his strength was.
Which is where he was in LA.
In LA,
Everything's
yeah.
green job, blow jobs and rainbows.
Yeah, so you put him back in a development where he can pat everybody on the ass and tell them we're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Which he does great and say weird shit.
Right.
Okay? I don't think his message works for these guys. They might like him. They might play for him if you say so, okay? But I do not believe this message sits well. I don't believe the weird words sit well over 162.
Right.
And the reason I can say that for a fact is for 2 straight years you collapsed at the end, which means them words got annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
I think he profiles well as the scouting director.
Yeah.
He's got good barrel accuracy.
I would love for them to say that about him. Like, he profiles well. Oh, my God.
He profiles well as as a member of the scouting department.
I fucking love it.
And perhaps not so much in the dugout.
So, guys, before we switch off to fantasy, I want to ask you one more question, and you can go ahead after that, too, if you have more on it. But who's your guy? Like, who's your guy out there? You got to give me a guy. You're Matt Clintack. Say he keeps his job. I don't know how the F Matt Clintack keeps his job, but John Middleton pretty much gave him a boost of confidence, which he didn't give his manager, okay, because he said, Matt did a tremendous job this offseason.
Yeah.
He got essentially 5 All-Stars. Blah, 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 blah. He did a heck of a job. So he blew him. Yep. He blew Matt Clintack, which tells me Matt's not going anywhere. And Andy's not going anywhere. All right, so now you got to go choke out Matt Clintack and prove to him that this isn't the guy that you messed up. Okay, you did a great job in free agency, but you messed up on your manager. Okay, you took a shot. It didn't work. We got to go in a different direction. All right, so who's your guy? You're Matt Clintack. You kept your job. Now your ass is on the hot seat because this manager don't work. Your ass is gone. Who's your guy? Who are you getting to save your job? Greg and Mike and the family. Who the fuck's that guy?
Joe Girardi.
I'm right there, too. I want Girardi. If I can't have Girardi, I want Sosha.
I would blow Girardi, and the tip was Sosha. Okay?
Just a tip?
Just a tip with him.
Just for a second?
Yeah, I would take him. But I love Joe Girardi. I just think when you've managed in both situations, you manage the rebuild and you manage the expectation team. And you manage that expectation team for 10 years, you can handle it anywhere. If you can manage the Yankees for 10 years, you can go. If you can manage the Marlins and Yankees, think about the difference. If you can manage the worst and the best, essentially, what can't you manage? And honestly, that Marlins team was always tough with him.
Yeah.
Which tells me what? He's a fucking good manager.
They play and they play hard.
And he's smart. He's got a book. I understand he's a bookish, but he's got a feel too.
Right.
He's been around it. He gets it.
Well, he's got a book because think of a catcher. You have to know everything about the opposing batters
You want to
coming
know where to
up.
pitch him? Yeah.
You got to know where to pitch him. So, of course, there's a book in his mind. And there's a certain way and analytically how to pitch XYZ players. He's a catcher.
Yeah.
But you're right. He absolutely has a feel for the game.
I absolutely, and that's what I was saying last week. Is I want one of these guys who is a former catcher. I know you guys said like you're a little leery of Osmus because he's kind of shit to bed his last 2 stops, but I mean for me, I'm like, okay, I want Girardi, I want Scioscia, I want Matheny, I want Osmus. Those are my 4 guys.
Bro, you can tell me Joe Smith from Kensington. You know what I mean? Like Joey bag of donuts from Kensington.
If he was a catcher, you'll take him, right?
And I'm like, oh, I'll give the guy a shot.
Yeah.
He coached some town ball. He was a little league guy. He drafted a great town. He knew how to get the dads to play, to all team up and play for the same team and coach. He's one of them cats. I'll take a shot because I'll take anything over this manager. And you apologists throughout the year and still are apologizing for this guy are delusional and aren't baseball guys. It's that simple. You might like the sport, but you're not a baseball guy. You understand? There's a difference. You can like it and watch it and not get it.
Yeah.
And not get the whole picture. Everybody with a clue says this guy cost us at least 12 to 15 games. Let's just say he cost us
small side.
Let's just say he cost us 8. 8 puts you in the dance.
You're not even a wild card at 8. You're a division at 8.
Well, I mean, I told you guys already, and I'll tell the family. Without mentioning any names, I had the privilege of working on Saturday with someone who has a prominent position in the Phillies organization, who specifically said they felt that Gabe's moves, and his exact word, extremely puzzling. If you have someone in the organization who is saying that his moves are extremely puzzling, then, come on. It's not hard. It's not hard to see it from the outside.
No, and Kruk and Batalco made it like clear on air.
Tell you every night.
Like I mean, Kruk did not shy away,
No.
like saying like I'm not going to be a homer for this guy. I'm going to say how it is.
And Larry Anderson on radio is the same way.
I'm a color guy. I'm supposed to tell you what I see.
Larry just shakes his head.
And Ricky, every post game,
he's fired.
He hammered him, hammered him, and rightfully so. The guy wasn't good enough. Listen. End it before it becomes too bad.
Right.
Like, don't.
Because here's the reality.
You're allowed to say, you know what, we made a mistake. You're allowed to say that.
He's a lame duck manager going into next year.
And I don't want that.
And so that's no good for him.
Nope.
No good for
and it's no good for the team.
No, because
so if you bring him back, then there has to be at least a thought of an extension.
Greg, right.
And that is
that's
that is,
Greg,
I can't even. There's no words for what that would be.
Don't you do it? Don't you bring up
because the fact that McPhail and Clentak aren't going anywhere.
I know. There's going to have to be an exorcism. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about any of that at all.
Because what is his motivation then to manage this next year?
Well, to try to keep a shot. But what now if the players don't like him? That lame duck year becomes another shit year for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Sweeps, he's an effing pot. Gabe's a clown, worst manager in the bigs. Not even my daughter makes those mistakes from last year, let alone the 15 or so wins he cost the Phillies. They play for him. Who says that? The apologists, 80 and 82, 81, 81. Yeah, they play hard for him, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you quit down the stretch, it doesn't equal hard. So.
No, not at all. It's absolutely unbelievable. It really is.
And the Showalter rumor, again, I'm in the mindset of anybody but Kapler and Madden, but Showalter doesn't make my short list.
No.
Because that's just going back to the Baltimore Orioles.
But he won when they had talent.
No, he won, but I'm saying that's just McPhail and Clentak going, oh, we worked with him already in Baltimore.
It's a trust thing. It's a different direction.
I'm not saying I wouldn't take him.
I'm getting away from this craziness. I'm going to an old school manager.
I agree.
Who understands the game. I would take. I'm not. It's not like a guy I'm begging for.
Sure.
But I'll say whatever. You've won. You've been in the playoffs when that team was good.
Yeah.
And then you were under a fucking full tank of shit there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had 2 players. You had Adam Jones and
Manny Machado. And that's
right.
it. You had maybe one pitcher.
Dylan Bundy.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah.
you were just there.
I did.
Just going through the motions.
Yep.
But I would take a shot.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm still in that mode. It's just that safe type of pick.
I'm not begging.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you go back to the guy you know.
It's
You know,
true.
you think about what
The Eagles did.
You think about, I was just gonna say, get
There you
out of my
go.
goddamn head. I was gonna say,
Sorry.
what did Howie do? He went back to what he knew.
And maybe that
right?
works because I hated it.
Listen, I'm not saying I love it, but I'm not going to be mad at Buck Showalters here and Gabe Kapler is somewhere in single A, or on a beach somewhere. I don't care. But
I'm with you.
But I like the guy in player development because he was successful there in LA, which got him this job. Okay? So go back to your strengths. Put guys in we always talk about it in sports. Play the guy's strengths.
Right.
Right? You tried to make a player development guy a manager, and all he did was talk weird words that player development guys talk, and he's not a manager. 2 straight years, he might have cost 30 games. Rob, that's a small number. It might be 60, okay, in 2 years. It could be. When you don't make the basic Freddie Freeman, I don't care what your book says. I don't care. A base opening goddamn Adam Duvall on deck, who's in the minors half the year. That's always going to be the one that sticks out.
Duval.
There's plenty more, but that one is the 101 amateur hour thing. Like for instance, me and Sweeps are playing Friday. If you come up and his 4-hitter's up and he hypothetically hit the ball at the cover with the ball all goddamn night, right? And I got a second and third, however many outs there are. I don't even care if there's none. You've done enough.
Right.
Freddie Freeman's worth.
Blue.
Like, have a feel on what Freddie Freeman has done to us.
One time.
For years.
One time.
For years.
One time.
I don't care.
Have a feel one time.
I don't care if Aaron Nola, if he's over 20 off the line. I don't care. And some of it's on Aaron Nola saying, I'm not throwing this guy a strike. You know what I mean? It goes both ways. But it's on your manager saying, we don't even need to throw a pitch.
4.
4.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Adam, you go
That
beat
guy.
us. You go beat us.
I think a big one that stuck out for me.
That's 13U baseball, by the way. I'm fucking talking about. Not the big leagues.
Oh,
And, get out.
Anthony Rendon.
Get out, baby.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But
Come on.
in a Phillies-Mets game,
I'm not a Nationals fan. I got money on. Sorry, Rob.
It's okay. he pulled the pitcher before Dominic Smith was announced in the game. To go to the lefty before he was. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a manager is to pull it. You wait for that announcement, so that way now the Mets, if they want to put a righty against the lefty, now have to take Dominic Smith out
And
you
waste
can't-
them.
You can't do that.
You also can't do? Bring in a relief pitcher that's not warmed up.
Yeah.
Well, true. That happens.
You
too.
don't, I mean, Robbie, to your point, you don't even walk up the dugout steps until the hitter's announced.
Yeah.
Like, not like, okay, you know what move is going to be made, so you start walking to the mound. No, you don't even walk up the dugout steps.
Oh!
Until you hear,
Back-to-back jacks.
oh, that's a bomb.
See,
I mean, that was like,
later.
that was,
I don't want to root for the Nationals.
that
I just
was,
love seeing Kershaw get rocked
that
around.
was
We
Matt,
told
that,
you.
but that was
Everyone
like,
said that.
that was Matt
That
Stairs
was Matt
type
Stairs
shit.
area.
That was a bomb.
I love seeing the Dodgers just choke it out. I love watching them choke it out. I love it.
And that's lefty on
I
lefty.
love it.
That wasn't even. that
There's
was
nothing
no-
better in baseball than watching the Yankees and Dodgers choke it. There's nothing. There's nothing
Correct.
that brings me more joy.
Correct.
So I have one other name, manager-wise, that I would
Oh,
be.
get it on. Go work, Kirsch.
Yeah, I want. Well, yeah, get him out of there now because shit, you got to save him.
You better go buy Walker Bueller, whatever he wants.
Yeah, and apologize. The one other name that I think I would have a mild interest in would be Gary Pettis, third base coach for the Astros. Played 12 years in the major leagues. I mean, the guy was like a gamer, just a, good, solid two-way outfielder. Just and in that Astros organization, whatever you can bring from what they're doing right. I think I want a piece of that.
And they're a very high analytic organization. So
If you're stuck,
But-
and that's the thing is if you're stuck with McPhail and Clentak, you know that whoever they bring in is gonna have to be an analytical guy. So,
but the difference is you can have all the analytics you want, as Gabe did, but Astros obviously are a lot more talented than than the Phillies. So,
So Ryan just put out there, he said, if someone told you that Jackie Bradley Jr. would be the center fielder of the Phillies on opening day, what would your reaction be?
I'm good.
I don't think I'd have a reaction because I feel like there's actually, believe it or not, more of a chance that could be Mookie Betts than Jackie Bradley Jr.
Well, there's only
I
a
think
few
Boston.
guys.
I think Boston wants to. I think they want to part with Mookie before they really, really have to pay him.
yeah.
I'll take Mookie off their hands in a second, but
I'll take Mookie.
But I don't
Jackie
want Jackie
Bradley.
because I have a Hazley then.
And that's where my thought is. I don't necessarily hate that idea, but Jackie Bradley doesn't hit enough for me.
Right.
And I've seen enough of Adam Hazley.
I love Jackie Bradley as an outfielder, but he doesn't hit.
He doesn't hit enough for me, so I'd rather take my chance on an Adam Hazley being young
Right.
Than Jackie Bradley.
that we know.
Right. Exactly.
And then you always look at our organization, and we have Mickey Moniak that is still available.
And from what I heard,
if
what I heard, he's a freaking pimp. From I heard guys who play with him that he's a stud. He's going to be up in 2 years, and he's legit.
So if Hazley isn't that guy, then you fast track Moniak then,
Right.
because I would rather go that route
Or
than
they
Jackie
both are up
Bradley,
there.
or they both are.
With Harper. But if you're
And-
telling me Mookie Betts is available, I'm
in.
all in. You know what I mean?
I just love that you said that and that you have that information because there's so many people that just want to kill Moniak because he was, he's the number 1 overall pick and whatever. And we've talked about it how many times. Kid was 17 coming out of high school when he got drafted. And he probably shouldn't have gone number 1 overall, but he gave the Phillies a massive discount on the contract.
Yep.
And people look at it at number 1 overall, number 1 overall, number 1 overall.
And rightfully so.
Right.
But they compare it to Harper and Trout. Like,
Right.
he
But
should be up
they don't
immediately.
want to give the kid time to develop.
Sure.
And now, like you said, you got people that have seen him and played with him in the minors that just said that, like, kid's going to be a flat-out stud. He just needs to grow up.
Yeah, he is a stud. He just keep getting stronger and stronger, and he'll be in AAA next year.
Yep.
And if he hits the cover off the ball, he'll be up the following year. It's that simple. Or even up next year.
And that's the McCutchen trade-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be eventually.
You know what I mean? Like if that scenario, that 2 years per se, is what it takes, then that's the McCutchen contract, and then we
Yep.
we swap.
Let me throw a quick dark horse name out there because one of our listeners, Todd Lewis, brought this up to me, a guy I know outside the studio. Brings up Chris Patero, local boy from Trenton, New Jersey. I believe he coached for Ryder. He formerly played a couple seasons. He's a talent scout and assistant to the GM over in the Oakland A's. I know him and Kotze have been 2 names that have been floated out there under the radar, potentially for the Giants job and for the Phillies job. Would you not?
Did he ever play in the major league?
He played in the major leagues. Yeah, he played. He played for the Tigers and Twins from '85 to '87. So very short time. He was mostly a college player for the Tar Heels. A guy I know from back in the day as well. So that's interesting. That's intriguing in terms of familiarity. My question is would you want a dark horse, and would you want another first-year manager?
I mean, I'm not against it. Anybody from Oakland.
Yeah.
That has like in that organization. So I mean, the fact of where he's at now and their constant playoff appearances, essentially.
I mean, if it's those,
I would take it.
If it's those 2 guys, I'm taking Kotze just because of the major league pedigree, and the fact that coming through college, Kotze was a pitcher and an outfielder, so he can relate to both positions.
Yeah,
how about that? A little.
Nice knowledge drop there.
Throwing back to the Kotze drop.
Not just a hat rack, my friend.
Exactly.
Jeff Lohmeyer says, "What about a Clint Hurdle type of manager? Seems like a fiery personality."
Brought that up a couple shows ago
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, I mean, it's better than Kapler.
No,
I mean,
no.
I think that's just the problem we're gonna have here because everybody's better.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can, like I told you before, it's Joey Bag of Donuts down the street, coaches some 8U team.
If I'm taking a retread, I'm not going Clint Hurdle. I'm looking for like a Dusty Baker.
Yeah. Clint Hurdle doesn't do anything for the needle.
Nope.
But there's guys who do, and there's guys who don't. But everybody's better than Kapler, essentially.
Completely agree.
I think Sosha is the best fit.
Socha or Girardi, I agree with you.
Well, yeah, Girardi too. Yeah, I could see that. I see Girardi going to the Cubs, possibly Mets.
The problem with Socha is he hasn't won in a while.
Truth.
At least Girardi's won recently.
Truth.
So where you can say, like, he's won in the modern day baseball, where Socha hasn't.
Right.
Now, granted, the teams haven't been good enough, but you did have the best player in baseball for X many years, and they did go try to win. Right. They just were never good enough. So, I mean, I don't blame that on him, but it's just the fact that you haven't worries me a little bit, because it's got to. You haven't had success in a while, so.
Yeah.
And I always thought you got the most out of your guys, too. I really, truly believe Socha would get the most out of your guys. But I also think Girardi can, too. And just, like I said, just the fact that he's been at both markets and just if you can get through New York, and I know that probably stressed him out. You know, if you get through New York for 10 years, you can get through anywhere. So
let me ask you guys one more question. Now, if we're talking about the dark horses here, how do you guys feel about Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox? I mean, you guys think he's a decent manager, or you think he's just got a shit ton of talent?
I think it's a combo.
A little bit of both.
I mean, he did win a World Series, so it's a combo.
So how would you feel about staying in the family and going to his brother Joey, who is the third base coach for the Pirates? Especially given that he may be available now that Hurdle is gone from Pittsburgh.
I mean, I'll kick the tires on that break.
I mean, Joey Cora is
that's a family. It's a baseball family.
It's a two-time All-Star, a World Series champion, and an All-American at Vanderbilt.
It's like like when we brought in Pedro Martinez to pitch. Oh, I get someone from the Martinez tree.
Yep.
I don't care how old he is.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Bring him in.
So like Joey Cora.
names, family, pedigree. Yeah. It all wins. Yep. It all wins.
Right, but exactly, and that's the thing is that we're
swinging at that.
You're not bringing in an experimental guy. Like Raul Ibanez. I'm sorry, I know people loved him because he played here.
Yeah, I was.
He'd be a fucking hot disaster, just like Gabe was.
Yeah, I accept. I agree with you. There's no way of knowing either way, but I would agree with you that a guy like that is just taking too much of a risk.
Yeah.
Like I want the pedigree.
Me too. I want it too. That's why when you said Buck Showalter, even I was like, I'll take him.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with the guy, but I'll take him. Like if you give me anybody with a little gray hair that manage, I'm like, I just want that guy.
Wait, hold on.
Are you good?
There you go. Gray beard.
I got gray.
Gray beard back again?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cap player. He's too young. He's too amped. Like by some of those moves we were talking about, that's being too excited and not, being calm in the moment and being that leader. I think if you're going to diverge from a guy like that, you want to bring in a guy that's had more experience.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Absolutely. Somebody that has some success. Somebody that players can lean on a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Sweeps.
And not get the weird responses.
Sweeps has got one for you.
Yeah.
He says, sorry, Mike. Not after last night when he said Altuve had a ball to center field wall, played perfectly down 3-0. Nope, I'm out on Pettis.
All right, come on now.
That was the greatest relay I probably have seen. That relay?
Except for the one that Eustace did on us to nail Kale at third.
But yeah. But this
you know what?
I mean, he was already
Gabe,
past third.
Gabe is so bad, I'll still take Pettis. Even with the play last night.
I mean, he was past third. Like, you always say, like, if he's past third before he catches it, he should be in good shape.
Yeah.
And he was past third. And what's his name? It's not Adams. It's like
Adames.
Adames, who I really like a lot. Maybe probably the best relay throw I've ever seen. Like on a dime. Like we talk about 2 inches one way, 2 inches the other. He's safe. He's safe. So I mean, it's an unbelievable throw. But let's get to locks of the week.
Okay.
One from everybody, and this is for fantasy purposes.
Recreational fazul purposes.
Oh, it's legal here. We can say it.
Exactly.
DraftKings, whatever you got.
We could say it's legal here.
Correct.
Well, I interesting because my lock of the week actually applies to both the season long and part of a stack in the DFS world. So my lock of the week this week is Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, who has been absolutely lighting it up. They're coming to Cleveland, playing the Browns on a short week against a secondary that's been suspect, basically because they're always on the field because the Cleveland offense can't do anything. I could easily see Russell Wilson going 320 and 3 touchdowns. So in terms of my season long, my lock of the week is Russell Wilson. And in fantasy, the DFS, I am actually pairing him with tight end Will Dissly. Now, Dissly is starting to kind of climb up the price tag list, if you will, for tight ends.
Yeah.
But I still think he's great value, and Wilson has just been going to him more and more every week, and he's almost uncoverable. Not that he's got blazing speed, but he's got incredible size, great hands, and he's always open. So I like the mini stack of Wilson and Dissly in DFS. Wilson's my lock of the week in fantasy.
I want to go, but it's not. It's a high price tag. But I want to go Ezekiel Elliott because you're playing the Jets,
Correct.
And I think they're going to use this obviously as a get right game.
Mm-hmm.
But because you get to pay so much for him, I'm gonna go Mark Ingram in that same sense of you're back home.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming off a big win, and you're playing the Cincinnati Bengals. And I just think Mark Ingram in that offense is going to, again, get right game against a bad division team. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey, obviously a high price. You got to pay for him. But regardless, Tampa 30th against the rush. He's their whole offense. I can't expect them to not score, in fantasy purposes under 30. And for DFS, pay the money for him. Pay the money for him. And
make sure you check the injury reports on Sunday morning.
That's it, because right now he's questionable, but yeah. I believe he'll play. And Matt Breida is another one. That's more like the guy you can get a little bit cheaper.
Yep.
But again, Rams 10th against the rush. Doesn't matter. I think that's a coming out party a little bit on Monday night because that's a good Cleveland defense. It is. He's been on the field too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's a good Cleveland defense. And, they started to get a little chemistry running the football with him.
Yeah.
That's a guy you can get a little cheaper. So that's my locks of the week. Robbie, you got one?
I got some value plays just to go with your locks. You were on to something before, and I think you should play it this week. I'm pointing the mic. I'm off camera. Adrian Peterson against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are the 31st worst rushing defense in the league. I think they're going to run it a lot in the tackles, bringing Case Keenum back, new voice. I think that's a great value play. You're going to get Adrian Peterson pretty cheap.
I'm going to stop you for a second there. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Sure.
My conscience just would not let me pick somebody against the Dolphins again because I've already done it 4 times this year.
Has it paid off for you?
It has.
Oh, okay.
So please continue.
Go the well again,
All right.
just like Dissly. He thought it was a flash in the pan, and now he's showing he's not. I'm very high on Will Dissly. Yeah. That's a great call. This other one, you're going to have to pay attention to the injury report on Friday. You're going to have to look up Kenny Stills. How is that hamstring? He was limited today.
Right.
If he continues to be limited and is looking towards the questionable, the doubtful side, both in seasonal and DFS, Kiki Kute.
Kiki,
against
do you love me?
Buddy, against the Kansas City Chiefs. That game's going to be an absolute shootout. I am stacking that game, Texans Chiefs, all the way to the bank, baby. It worked. Houston,
Absolutely.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
let's keep it rolling. I think it's going to be even better of a stack.
I like it.
Well, boys, Michael, 4 years, brother. You can talk to the family. Let them know give them a little heads up.
A little heads up that I will be turning the reins of the co-host chair over to Mr. Milakovic and going to take some time and just be a fan again. It's we've been doing this every week for 4.5 years now, and it's a lot when it's 40 miles each direction. We wrap up shows at midnight, 12:30 in the morning. I do have a full-time job that requires a lot of attention very early in the morning. So I'm stepping
a lot of attention.
A lot of attention, as in I can't sleepwalk through my morning. So I am stepping away for a while, and I'm gonna enjoy being a fan again, and then sometime after the holidays I'll probably reassess the situation and see if it's you know, do I want to be back here? Do I want to go right? Do I want to go somewhere else? Am I content just being off? Because honestly, I'm really kind of just looking forward to the time off and watching shows on this station and listening to the dial and, like I said, just being a fan again.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I told a couple of the other guys on the station that I'm not falling off the face of the earth. And, you know, you were like my guru right out of broadcast school. So, you know, there's going to be people out there that think it's a personal thing, and you and I talked about this. It's absolutely not a personal thing. It's personal for me. It's not personal for us.
Nah, I'm a terrible.
I mean, we're good like that.
Yeah, I'm a terrible human being. So
yeah,
people can get the MF. You know, I can't even fucking talk.
True story. No.
Hey,
Yeah, well, people can get the inside scoop.
False.
I'm an issue.
False.
I'm an issue. Radio Wars.
but it's been fun.
It's hard to work with. Radio Wars.
Yeah, it's been a blast. It's been
Hell
fun,
yeah.
and like I said, I'll be around certainly on the social, and to the fam, to the audience. Thank you very much. 4.5 good years.
It's been real, brother.
Appreciate it.
It's been
Enjoy
real.
time off, man. God
Thanks,
bless.
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll keep the train running here.
We'll keep the chair warm for you.
Well, might be a little bit of gas there, but you know, hey,
You don't want to sit on his chair,
yeah,
so
for sure.
you don't want him sitting on yours. So you don't. I don't know how warm.
Boys,
brother, love you,
Michael.
love you,
Robbie,
Robbie. Thank you, my man.
family.
Fam, appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. Go Birds this weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously tomorrow night you got Lazy Booking 7:30, probably 7:45ish. Hockey happy hour coming at you at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Obviously, Flyers playing great hockey.
Yeah.
You know, Matty's gonna be puffing chest, giddy
Oh,
up.
yeah.
All right, Friday night you have the Philly Sports Guys, 8 p.m. And then Saturday you have the weekly roundup.
Yep.
And they'll be diving into the Eagles, Kyle and Jake. And then Sunday night we'll be giving you the post game of the Eagles. And you know, Rob and Brad, if they lose, Rob's gonna be blowing a gasket Monday.
Sure.
And if they lose, Chuck's will get 72 Mr. Softies on Tuesday at 8 p.m. You can check Birds of a Feather out. And then next week, you'll have us assholes to deal with. And who knows? Maybe somebody from the Fix.
Maybe.
Anybody but Frank. So
Well, I will be. I will have to tip my. I'll have to tip my cap to the Lazy Booking guys next Wednesday though, because I will be at AEW at Temple University on Wednesday night. So
Uh-oh.
well,
At the
AEW.
Leah Core Center?
yeah, at the Leah Course.
So fam, for Tom Arnone,
One
Michael Mallory,
last time, big boy.
One last time, Greg Milakovic, Robbie Poe, we love you. Fam, thanks for listening to this show for as long as you have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure. And like I said, Mike's taking hiatus. We're not going anywhere. The three of us and whatever jabrones want to jump in, we'll carry it through. So you'll still have to deal with us on Wednesdays. like it or not. And yes, you got to deal with this asshole. I understand.
It happens.
I
It's a
get it.
goddamn problem.
A big time problem, and we got to get a great editor on the Bob Menery and still save it to file. He did such a great job. But we love you. We out. Go Birds. Peace.